Hi, my name is Ryan Navarro, and I'm an applications engineer here at Hawkridge Systems. In this video, I want to cover the process for exporting a SOLIDWORKS animation or motion study to Visualize to create a photo rendering. So in Visualize Professional, we've always had the capability to do keyframe-based animations, but sometimes it might be helpful if you already have an animation in SOLIDWORKS. You want to take advantage of those SOLIDWORKS mates. For instance, it's really easy to create animations using the mate controller here. So if you haven't used that before, I'll point you to an old video we have linked in the description below that goes over how to set up animations with the mate controller. And in this case, this is an animation created just using the SOLIDWORKS animator. So using the mate controller first and then exporting that over to an animation as is covered in that previous video. So once you have your animation ready to go in Visualize, you're going to have to export it from SOLIDWORKS. So we're going to have to enable the Visualize add-in from our SOLIDWORKS add-ins here. And then once that new Command Manager tab loads up, we're going to click Export Advanced. And that's what's going to give me the option to specify the motion study that I want to bring over to Visualize. So it's important to note you need to push the project to Visualize from SOLIDWORKS in order for this functionality to work. Once this opens up in Visualize, we'll be able to apply our appearances and make any modifications we want to the project. So now we're looking at this same assembly inside Visualize, and you can see that I have keyframes that were brought in for all these individual components. So I can't really modify these, but I can still do additional things to the animation, like add keyframes to my camera, for instance. If I want to be adding camera rotation during the course of the animation, I can do that. But as far as the imported animation themselves, those are pretty much linked to the SOLIDWORKS motion study. So this is really useful, and of course you can go through, apply your own appearances. So I have a file here that's finished that we can open up. Show you the end result, and this is a little taxing for my laptop here, so I'm using Power Boost to render this out. I have a more powerful PC, the NVIDIA graphics card. So I can, usually when I'm setting up an animation, I'll just jump to different sections of it and see how it looks. And I'm happy with it here, so then I would go to render that out. And this particular animation that you're seeing on the screen right now took about 10 minutes to render with a single NVIDIA GTX 1070. So that animation we looked at was based on SOLIDWORKS animation, which is available in even the base version of SOLIDWORKS. What I'd like to show you now is what you can do also combining this process with a SOLIDWORKS motion study. So motion analysis is available in SOLIDWORKS Premium, and that's going to give you a more realistic simulation capability in here. So of course this can be used for engineering analysis purposes. I'm going to load up SOLIDWORKS Motion. Here I'm using it for some fun to just have a little simulated dice roll. Okay. So I set up a motion study here. This requires SOLIDWORKS Premium or Simulation to get the full motion study. And basically ran an analysis with contact interactions between the components. So you can see here the dice being thrown very quickly. I'll have to slow down the playback rate so we can see what's going on. And you can map over these types of animations to Visualize as well. So it's not just the simple moving components around. If you want to do some advanced physics in SOLIDWORKS, you'll still be able to map those over to Visualize. So I can again show you the corresponding Visualize project. And this is one where I did quite a bit of work adjusting the camera and lighting and things like that during the animation. So here's my Visualize animation. You can see it brought in the two die animations here, and then I did some additional animation for the camera movement, camera depth of field effect, and also the transparency of those die to have them fade in onto the screen and then have the camera kind of follow them as they roll around here. So I'll go ahead and play back that finished animation for you now so you can take a look at it. But clearly you can see in certain situations it's really valuable to be able to bring over animations that were created in SolidWorks into Visualize Professional. And that's possible as long as you're using 2017 or newer Visualize Professional and you're using that Export Advanced option from SolidWorks to push out the Visualize project. Hopefully this video was helpful. Let us know if you have any other questions.